Stickers, cases, and all the volatile stuff has been the center of attention, but what about the stuff that's been like solid, kind of just sitting on the sidelines, consistently increasing in price, like high tier skins and knives? Today, I want to focus on knives and if there's one best option when it comes to buying one, and if you should be looking at older stuff, newer stuff, and what's performed better recently. Does a fade outperform a forest DD-Pat? Today, let's figure it out. But before we get into that, if you're sitting on a bunch of CSGO skins and want to get rid of them for a fair price, check out the sponsor SkinsMonkey. Not only does SkinsMonkey offer fair value trades for your skins, but you can also use that code at the top of the description for a free $5 bonus. If you're getting bored of your play skins, you can also easily trade them out for good investing items that have significantly increased in price over time. So be sure to check them out. But for now, let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's keep it simple. Right off the bat, just compare 4 random knives. The bayonet in blue, karambit in green, M9 in red, and the butterfly in yellow. All of that is at the top of the screen if you forget it. But note that they're all fairly liquid skins, nothing ridiculous like emeralds or rubies or anything, just something that would be a typical average play skin. Now you'll notice that they all got a relatively similar price trend. The uptrend started similar times, the big spike ups are fairly consistent, and all in all, you don't see any knife really overtaking another one ever. They're all increasing relative to their own price. The blue line, aka the vanilla bayonet, is an exception in some cases. It's got some really random spike ups sometimes that always seem to come back down to the fair level correlated with the rest of the knives. Now, whether this is because it's a vanilla bayonet and the rest of the items are not vanilla knives, I don't know. It is something interesting to note though. Vanilla knives might just be manipulated easier because, I mean, they don't have a pattern or floats or anything. It is really weird. Now, that being said, certain knives did outperform others despite the similar uptrend timing. From January 5th to 6th, which was where all knives reached their lowest point of the year, so I figured that's a fair point to start comparing them, the butterfly knife has increased 18% up until today, the vanilla bayonet increased 35%, the M9 increased 28%, and the karambit increased 31%. So there is actually a big difference between buying certain knives compared to others, and of course it is going to matter when investing. Despite all of them having pretty similar uptrends, the amount they actually go up in price varies quite a bit. Now, one thing I can say when buying knives is that much like the rest of the market, I've got the philosophy that if something is already really expensive or at a massive run up, less people are going to be buying it. Even with more players coming to the game and more cases being unboxed, people still have budgets and don't want to be dumping potentially thousands of dollars on the already really expensive butterfly knives, for example. So even with knives, you've got to imagine a lot of money is going to be funneled towards the cheaper stuff that hasn't had run-ups in price yet, or just flat out isn't too expensive. Like, look at the classic knife, for example. Since the same January 5th date, it increased 35%. Just as much as the default bayonet, despite it definitely not being as, I guess, good looking or hyped as a knife. It's definitely one with a lot of potential since it was really cheap already, and CS20 cases had a big run up in price as well. So there's a ton of different things that can slightly change the profitability of a knife. There's just no straightforward answer, these types of knives are better than these types. It's kind of varies from case to case. But how about a difference in the skin itself on a knife? Well, let's compare the classic knife forest DD-Pat to a classic knife fade. The fade has only increased about 25% since its lowest point it hit during the year, obviously a much more expensive knife, and once again, the forest DD-Pat had a 35% increase, so there is a pretty significant difference. And as I said earlier, the cheaper stuff, the more willing people will be to buy it up. Once again, cheaper budgets, just more people available and willing to buy it, typically do well. That's why we're seeing stuff like cases do incredibly well. They cater to everybody. You can spend $10 investing in them, or you can spend $1,000. That's why even the cheap ones that are in the active drop pool are getting bought up, or at least a reason for it. And same goes with the sticker capsules during the majors like Rio. If you have a quarter, you can be an investor. It fits everybody's budget, which is why they are such just easy ways to make money. So when it comes to knives, I'd recommend just going to the cantry.dev site that I use today, looking at the charts for yourselves, comparing it to other knives. Just compare the knives you want to buy, to be completely honest, and overall just realize the cheaper stuff tends to be better. But I'm sure there is some exceptions like gut knives and just stuff with absolutely no hype behind it, so it does vary from case to case. But once again, cheaper budgets, more people are going to be able to buy it. But yeah, besides that, I think that is going to wrap it up for this one. So as always, leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and of course check out SkinsMonkey for that free $5 bonus as well. But for now, I'll see you guys next one. Peace.